Hello, hello, hello. It is me again. I am not Alex Light. I am Zach of Sparky3. And this is the second week without Alex, so it's going to be me and, of course, John here again. John, how are we doing today?
I'm losing it over here. I'm getting loopy for some reason.
Alrighty. Well, so we started a bit late this week because we had some slight technical difficulties we had to deal with. But, yeah, this is the second week without Alex, so he made a script.
We're usually good to follow for 1 week.
Yeah, so it's sort of going out the window, sort of reason why the title is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna just have fun with this, and Alex will deal with it. He'll probably ask us to do this again at some point, and he fully accepts that this is a thing. But here we are again, Gamesthetic 121. I guess I don't even got my notes pulled up. Oopsie. But yeah, we sort of played things this week. We'll hit a couple things this week, but
we at least played some games, whether they were the ones we thought we were gonna play or not.
it is what it is. We'll do whatever we want. But if you would, go check out Agent Inc. and check out their shop, especially our shop at Sparky3, and pick you up a jersey or one of those dad hats, as Alex likes to call them. I still don't get it, but hey. Especially the AniMan jersey. It still looks fantastic. It looks great in that pink and blue swirl. You can also check Wayward Beard Company, Rogue Energy, which just released their new strawberry bubblegum hydration and rainbow candy hydration.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I got a strawberry bubblegum coming out.
I might get the rainbow candy. It looked interesting. I assumed somebody was going to get the strawberry bubblegum.
Yeah, I spent like $130 on Rogue this week. But you skip that and also check out Red Dragon and check out our Discord and the links below. You can join us there, help us with there. And of course, check out the website at sparky3.com and check out our own personal merch shop that Agent Inc. had nothing to do with and Alex hand created. I don't know if he's created anything new for that, but please go check it out if you're interested at all. It does help. With that, I'm going to just kill this music and we're just going to see where this show goes for the next half hour to an hour.
Okay. Well, let's just kind of look at. So there were really 3 things that we were looking at playing this week.
Yes.
Which would have been Atomic Heart, I think it's called.
Yep.
Okay, Atomic Heart, Octopath Traveler 2, and Like a Dragon Ishin.
Yes.
Did you play any of those?
I played 2 out of the 3.
Okay. 'Cause I played a little bit of Atomic Heart, but I kind of knew going into it, it wasn't my thing.
That's fair. I forgot Octopath Traveler was coming out on the 22nd. For some reason in my head, I thought it was the 2nd of March for some reason. I don't know why.
You know, I had the same thing happen to me that happened when Fire Emblem came out. Because I forgot that when that came out. And then I showed up and Alex was like, yeah, we're talking about Fire Emblem.
Then I wasn't here.
Yeah. So the funny thing there was, I should have known Octopath was coming out because it's been heavily pushed in all of my mobile game ads.
Oh, really?
And usually when a big game is coming out, or it seems to really be more like Nintendo games.
Yeah, I see. I can see that.
When they go, for some reason, the mobile games that I play, Nintendo ads really get pushed through.
Yeah.
So I should have realized it was coming out this week. I forgot about it again.
I mean, I was really excited for it. I still am excited for it. Honestly, after this show, I may go hit up a shop and buy a physical copy.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't played Octopath Traveler, but seeing that Octopath Traveler 2 did come out, I downloaded the first one.
Which I did see what you were talking about last week. It is actually coming off Game Pass soon.
It keeps saying that. It keeps popping up saying it's going to come off Game Pass. I don't know when it's actually leaving.
They usually put it up there on that leaving soon for like a month and a half.
Yeah, well, let's see. Like when I first got Game Pass, I had it on there for a little while,
Yeah.
and then because they said something about it leaving soon, it's like, oh, I need to play it, and then I just didn't.
I mean, hopefully it's still in there before it leaves because you'll put in quite a bit of chunk of time into it.
Yeah,
because it is an RPG.
I might just start playing it because hell, I'm not playing anything different right now. Playing a bunch of old shit.
I mean, hey, that's why we're here. We played a bunch of old shit with new updates. Hey. But before we get into stuff we actually put time in, let's at least hit a bit of what we did bit of play. So I did play Like a Dragon Ishin.
Okay.
I bought the deluxe edition, so I was actually playing it. Actually, after we left here last week, I went and played it. I enjoy it. It is a classic Yakuza game in the style of Yakuza 1 through 6. The the strange thing about it is just, so they're doing the story of the Shinsengumi, which is a whole group of police force that was also sort of a bunch of just cutthroats and killed people. It was a weird thing. But they've used the characters from that story and part of history and have just put the Yakuza character models on it. So it's very jarring for me seeing all the Yakuza characters and them being called by different names when they're acting the same way they already were.
No, so it's basically just like, hey, the world, it's like, here's the world setting that looks different and everything in older times. But we didn't feel like remodeling any of these characters. We'll just change their clothes.
Correct. And it's sort of funny because it really dawns on me how much that's pretty much it. It's literally just like they took those characters and they're now just acting, because there's a whole filter system in the settings where you can, instead of having the regular camera mode, you can put it into like a historical drama. So it's all sort of like grayscaled and got the grittiness to it. Which I tried to play it like that, but my TV's brightness doesn't want to work for me, so I could not get it to a point where it was actually viewable.
Man, so they love being weird with those games.
Yes, they do. And I want you to note that every minigame that the Yakuza games have had, they all make a reappearance in this game.
Oh, sure. Why not?
You still can go fishing. You can go to a bar and sing karaoke. There's chicken racing.
What about the claw machines?
I have not seen a claw machine yet.
I would hope not.
We'll see what their version of it is. So I mean, they've reused a lot of the assets from other games, and I feel like that's what they've done with this game, because it literally is just a reskinned Yakuza game, but I'm enjoying it just because I like the Yakuza series, and it's just a weird thing because I keep seeing things that I was like, this happened in the Yakuza game with the same characters. Because, like, there's one, I forget what he is. I think he was the antagonist of one of the games. In Kazuma, the original Yakuza character, they have a fight in a bathhouse. We have another fight with those two early on in another bathhouse.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Just they're different characters. I'm just fighting this whole fight, and the whole time I was like, I've done this before with these characters.
I feel like that's a lot of the Yakuza games is, it's like your overall story might be slightly different. You'll have wackier side quests and shit to do. But it's still Yakuza. And I haven't played a lot of Yakuza games. I've started a couple of them.
Yeah.
But they all seem to have almost the same opening. Or at least a few I've played in some capacity.
Yeah.
It's like they're varying, but you follow the same kind of structure and get to the same conclusion to get to the story.
I got to a point, I think it was like when Yakuza 4 came out. Well, actually, I take that back. When I finally played Yakuza 4, because I only played Yakuza 1 and 2, then I fell off the series and didn't pick it back up till 0 came out. But there was a point when I was playing through where I went, this is just Kiryu's fucking unfortunate life, where he's just like, I'm going to get out of the Yakuza business. And then they pull me right back in.
I was going to say.
I'm going to get back out of the Yakuza business. Like, even Yakuza 0, which is like a prequel to all the Yakuza games, it's literally Kazuma fucking being banished from the Yakuza life, but still getting involved.
I was going to say, because it's like, it seems like Yakuza games, for some reason you're getting kicked out of the Yakuza, or you're taking a fall for somebody, you got to go to jail for 10 years, and then you come back and everybody, like, nobody wants to deal with you, but they kind of want to deal with you.
Yes.
And then you got to go about your way to either rise your way back up or kind of do your own thing off on the side.
It's never a rise thing. It's like he sees some problem in the world and he decides he somehow gets involved and has to deal with it now.
Yeah, and then it's like at the end they're like, you did a good job, boss. It's like, wait, I
don't want to be the boss.
I thought I was out of here. No, you're back. Okay, well, I'm going to leave.
Yes, that's exactly it. But back to like a Dragon Ishin. Fuck, it's still that same setting.
Yeah.
So you play as fucking Sakamoto Ryoma, and you return to your hometown of Toa after being in Edo for over a year, learning sword training. And like the first thing you get back, you're walking down the street, and these Joshi, what their class is called, they're higher people, and more or less, whenever they show up, everyone in the street has to bow down to them until they walk through. And there's a whole segment where a lady's daughter's got a stomach ache, and since it's back during the time when the black ships appeared in Japan, so the West was just interacting with Europe was just interacting with Japan and whatnot. The lady was just like, "Well, it's my child," and she goes up to run while there's like, "Where are you going? Why are you walking while we're walking? Oh, your child's sick? You think I'm care?" Goes to cut her down, and our MC goes up and punches him. He's like, "Go on your way, lady. I'll deal with this." And he gets put into jail.
I was about to say, I mean, I half expected, like, I mean, of course he has to go to jail for some reason.
Yes.
But I half expected you to be like, yeah, he comes back from like his a year away training or something, and then you encounter somebody. You were walking down the street the wrong way, so someone's like, "What the fuck, dude? That's where I was gonna walk," and then tries to fight you.
Yeah. No, it's a thing. I mean, he doesn't spend like years in the jail. He gets out the same day because his father's some big politician.
Yeah. So it's the Yakuza style game rite of passage. Though.
Yes.
You have
It
to
really
go to
is.
jail in the beginning of the
It
game.
really is, because then it sets up a whole plot point of, well, you're back, and we got this whole movement going on to upset the town and be able to get rid of the class system, yada yada yada. You meet some people, you go to meet to try and set things up, and then the father leader figure gets assassinated,
Okay.
which is also a Yakuza standard.
That's the same thing.
And thus, your MC has been implicated as the killer. And that after fighting the real killer who gets away and no one else sees, you get deemed the killer. So he banishes himself from Toa. And then a year passes, and he's been living somewhere else under a different name, trying to find information on the killer.
There really is something about Yakuza games and happening upon somebody who had been killed and getting and you being accused of it.
Yes.
Man, they gotta come on. Let's get a new thing.
I mean, it works. Every single Yakuza game I've enjoyed, and the whole thing is just like, it is over dramatized for the sole purpose of being over dramatized.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to a Yakuza game for necessarily the deep plot and meaning and everything.
I guess we should be saying like a dragon, not Yakuza, since that's what they're changing to is like a dragon instead of to get rid of that Yakuza name that came from the West.
Yeah, to be fair though, we are referencing the older still called Yakuza games.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to go find the original PS2 Yakuza game, not the Kiwami, because that's the only Yakuza game that has English voice acting.
Oh, that would be fucking terrible.
It's weird. Because for some reason, the first one they decided we're going to do English voice acting. The second one, they just, fuck it. We're just doing subtitles.
I wouldn't want English voice acting in those games, I don't think.
I played the first one with English voice acting, so I honestly can't remember how good or bad it was. Because I just remember playing the second one when I first saw a copy of it and going, oh, it's not in English this time. That's weird, but okay. But I mean, overall, I've been having entertaining time with it. I mean, it's like a dragon game. It's the classic fighting styles, beat 'em up, not the RPG. You have your 4 styles of fighting, which his is brawler, swordsman, gunman, and then wild dancer.
Okay.
And brawler is just straight up you're dodging and punching people, and you're parrying attacks as they come at you. Swordsman, it's one-on-one, stabbing each other, guarding. Gunman, you literally just have a 6-shooter and you just stand back. Bang, 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 bang the entire time. And the wild dancer, you just pull out both and you start spitting and shit.
I mean, I was assuming.
Yeah.
I was like, that's gotta be. You gotta be like having both or something in your hand. Otherwise, or you're gonna be spinning around on like doing some weird dance moves.
That's Zero with Majima. He has breakdancing.
Yeah, I've seen it. Like when you said Wild Death, we're like, well, it can't be that,
No, it's not.
but the equivalent of that.
Yeah, it's pretty equivalent to it. He's just not doing a lot of groundwork on that. Then we have, of course, the leveling of the skills. You by using each fighting style, you gain experience towards to gain orbs to unlock more of it. You have the traditional, actual, real serious, dramatized story that's constantly going through the game with the interspersed BS that is Yakuza games and the random sub stories and interactions with people. Like, there's an old guy who's hurt his back, and you happen to be passing by. It's just like, oh, it'd be nice if a young strapping lad would cut this wood to help out this old man.
Yeah.
So you get dragged into cutting wood.
Yeah. Yeah, because from what I've seen, the main stories are usually relatively serious.
Yeah, they're
Or,
relatively serious
they're
and
like
actually
relatively serious.
fairly well written.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot going on there. But everything else is just fucking wild.
It really is. Because, like, it's just how the Yakuza games do it. Like, all the sub-stories are actually very close together, but how interspersed it is with other crap you're able to do in between point A and point B makes it feel like they're pretty far away at times.
Yeah.
Because you get stopped because you're like, oh, what's this building? Oh, chicken racing? Well, let's do chicken racing for a little bit. And after like 20 minutes, I'm like, why the fuck am I doing chicken racing?
It's like I don't remember if it was Yakuza 0 I was trying to play or Yakuza Like a Dragon. I don't know. I started the game up when I was like started running around, and then I went into like an arcade, and then I was just playing an old Sega fighting game.
That was probably, well, it could have been either Zero or Kiwami.
I think it was 0, but it's like I'm in there playing that, and I'm like 30 minutes into it. I'm like, I'm not even playing the same fucking game I started playing.
But here's the thing. If you play those arcade games good enough, you get bonds with random NPCs.
I know, but I was still sitting there like, I've done nothing.
And they give you good shit.
It's like I've done nothing in the game that I wanted to do, and here I am just playing this, determined for some reason that this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah. It had to be 0 because Kiwami has the weird female bug wrestling game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I know, I've seen it. I've watched some breakdown or like some cut down playthroughs of at least 0 and Kiwami.
Yeah, the Like a Dragon games was wild because even like a Dragon, the RPG one, it's fully ridiculous, and they fully accept the ridiculousness and make reasons why they're fighting like they are.
Yeah.
Like, it is entertaining that they make real situational reasons for things like there's random pots lying in the ground in Ishin where you can just walk up to it and get random items. And when you leave jail, you see someone putting in a pot and you're just like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm putting these things in a pot. These things I don't need anymore. So I just leave them in this pot because someone can probably use it. If you open it up and take it, don't worry. Someone else will come by and probably fill it with something else. Bye.
Just random people. I don't need this old shit anymore. I'm just gonna get rid of it in this pot.
Yeah. It's like some like rainbow fabric that you need for crafting for high-end stuff. Like, well, shit.
Yeah. So overall, you're enjoying it. Of
I
course,
mean,
you know what you're getting into.
It's
with that
like a
style
dragon game,
Yeah.
and it's the classic style. So I'm like, okay. Now we still got 2 more coming out this year, which is one following Cosmo's story during the events of Like a Dragon, and then it's 8, where it's Cosmo and I can't remember Like a Dragon's MC right now off the top of my head, where the 2 of them team up for an RPG.
Sure.
That's exactly what it is.
I still haven't gone back and actually put much more time into like the actual Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
From when I last played it, I was enjoying the game.
It's an enjoyable game. And the first dungeon, you fight a giant Roomba.
Seems right.
I'm going to be honest. because you have to go back into the dungeon to find the Roomba. I was very confused what the fuck it was because this thing, like, it's a Roomba, but it wasn't initially. I didn't initially figure it out for whatever reason because the thing is like the size of this fucking room.
How big of a space was it trying to clean?
It's on a giant square, probably about, let's say, like 15 square feet more than this room. So it fit on there, but not by much.
Why is it up there? I mean, it ain't even hardly got room to clean.
Because it was a sewer dungeon.
Oh man, if it's in the sewer, it's barely gonna get any cleaning done anyway. I don't know. There's a lot of games that have just like dungeons and shit like that to go into, especially when you have, like can return back to it later. They're just like, man, fucking put something in there.
I mean, and since it's the Like a Dragon series, they're just like, just put whatever in there. It'll be fine as long as it slightly makes sense. Also, I do need to note that it's also in the Like a Dragon synopsis that you always have to end up going to the slums at some point. Because there's always some important figure in the slums or hobo town for whatever reason. Every game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's your MC who's the hobo.
Yeah. It's always somebody who knows what's going on there.
Yes. But, overall, enjoying Like an Ishin or Ishin Like a Dragon. May talk more about it next week. Probably won't because we'll probably have something else. But yeah, enjoying it. But on the other end, Atomic Heart. How did you feel about it, John?
I actually did end up downloading this and playing it for a little while. I forgot this. Like, I didn't even realize this game was coming out. I wasn't excited for it. I think you were the one who was talking about it.
It piqued my interest just because it seemed like a Bioshock-esque game.
Yeah, I will say. Okay, so you played it at least a little bit, right?
I got about like 2 hours in.
Okay, so you got somewhere around where I was in it, and let me just say, this game starts off longest fucking little rowboat scene.
Yes, that thing was fucking long.
It's like there are so many periods where shit it just makes you sit there and wait. And yeah, I get in the beginning, it's like, yeah, just kind of experience the atmosphere we have here. No. Let me control the speed of my damn rowboat. Also, I'm just gonna say this now. When you fucking fly away from there in the car, there's no fucking water down there.
There's not.
There's not any water down there.
No.
Where the fuck where the water go? That pissed me off.
Here's the thing. I did know how long this initial intro prologue thing was because you have the rowboat scene. Then when you get to that lab or whatever, that goddamn elevator. It makes you ride it fucking twice. It's the longest fucking elevator in the world.
The opening to this game is not strong, is what we're saying. But no, the game
Then it has you get off the elevator the second time, go and sit in a car for some robot to pick your ass up and do this long fly scene where it forces you to... It's like, it's not even a like... It's almost like trying to do a title thing, but it's not a title. It is floating with the radio going.
You're just getting exposition the whole time.
And then it even has a moment with like at least a minute where you're just going through a cloud and you just see nothing but white.
Yeah, it's just white everywhere. It was pissing me off. It's just too many sections of that.
All they do is just get to the end and right before you land, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to shoot you down now. Peace.
But yeah, the game starts. And you're in this rowboat, and you're seeing like these robots and shit fly around. It's kind of introducing you to kind of the way the world works, I guess.
And
and your character's talking to his glove because his glove likes to talk to him a fucking lot, by the way.
Yes.
And
Carlos or whatever.
Yeah.
Glove.
Yeah, the glove wants to be called like Charles or something. And your main character just refuses to call him that. Calls him like six or seven different names.
But he usually just sticks with Glove.
Yeah, he'll call him Glove, or he'll just start calling him other C names.
Yeah.
To just fuck with him, really. But yeah, this game takes place in a world where the Soviet Union won World War II.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so when when you go to the lab
Okay.
and the speech is starting behind you, I stopped and listened to it.
Oh, okay.
Just because I was like, somebody took the time to write this. I might as well stand here and listen. It's a long speech.
I'm gonna say though, one thing I do say about Atomic Heart, they put a lot of attention to detail and made it very atmospheric because even though the freaking flying scene did take forever, there was actually a lot of detail in it. Even like when going through the cloud and just having the condensation on
There is
on
a
the
lot
window.
of cool stuff that's happening just around in this opening
Yes.
area or opening sequence.
Because like even in like after the rowboat and you fucking finally move around and there's tons of crowds because it's celebrating some special day. I forget what it's called.
I don't remember what the name of it is.
More or less, it's a big celebration because everyone's getting Neurolinks to make the second hive mind or neural net.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's basically during the big long speech. The guy, it's the I don't know what his title is. He runs his company. He's like developing this technology for, like Zach said, these like neural link implants where he's designed this technology where once you get these implants, you can kind of insert information into your mind in a matter of minutes. And the whole thing is like, or his whole speech is revolves around the aspect of he's like, so you want to become a master of like astrophysics in 5 minutes? Sure. You want to learn how to do this? You want to learn how to do this? Everyone needs to do this. A 5-minute process to get this inserted, and then this becomes available in 2 days. And it's this. Everybody's like gathered around, like everybody's so excited about it, and it's like, wow, we're here. Mostly, you're hearing about this as your character is just trying to make his way to the lab to meet up with this guy.
Yeah.
And
forgot to mention, this is all happening on a floating island.
yeah, there's floating islands in the sky because in this version of the world, the Soviet Union won World War II and then has like their top scientists have developed like exceptional technologies. So there's floating islands in the sky for like the I mean really just for the wealthy.
Yeah. And then tons of different robots for other different tasks. And which I do like the robot designs because knowing full well that a large portion of the enemies were going to be robots, just seeing the faces just like the normal robots and then all the other types was like, God, it's going to slightly suck to fight some of these.
Yeah. And then it also, I like that they didn't go super crazy with the designs either.
Yes.
Because the other thing to keep in mind is this game takes place in 1950.
Yes.
So it's not, you're not seeing like super advanced technologies by like today's standards or like what we would see in sci-fi movies or shows or something at this point. They're really fairly simplistic robots in their designs for the most part. But yeah, essentially right before you get into the car and the robot picks you up and takes you off on this long floating car ride, you kind of just have a conversation with the guy who was giving the speech, I think it was, and because he was the one who saved you at some point and gave you your glove and everything.
No, he's talking to his glove when he talks about that.
He's going to meet up with that guy though, or that's who he was supposed to be meeting up with.
I thought he went to meet the guy and get his key for the car, but I couldn't meet him because he was dealing with something. He calls him initially during that ride. Then he gets called by the prick scientist who was trying to meet up at the lab. And then he has a conversation with Charles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the scientist guy is the one who saved the main character.
Yes.
So yeah, he's the one who kind of saved him and gave him the glove and started giving him kind of this technology and stuff where he can kind of augment himself in certain ways.
Yeah, it's weird.
Kind of weird concept, but you find out basically your character is some specialized military of some kind or secret service of some sort the big boss man just sends you out to take care of people.
He's not as badass as Granny Zima.
That dude gets his ass beat. My character spent more time getting his ass kicked than anybody I've seen.
Val gets killed by a robot and a porta potty gets saved by fucking Granny Zemo. She takes a pitchfork to that goddamn robot's head. And then she's just like... Then she pulls out a fucking weapon cache with a LMG and some Science advanced rocket launcher, lock-on rocket launcher.
We did skip a step there.
I don't care. So, Granny Zima was great.
Yeah, so right before we get introduced to Granny Zima, when we're being flown around, we start to hear reports of robots turning against people, kind of.
Yes.
On the radio, and then a robot comes through, shoots down the robot that's carrying us, and we fall to the ground. And then we wake up 2 days later.
It's 2 days?
Well, some of the dialogue in that, it starts saying that, like, I think Granny Zima at one point says 2 days ago, robots started attacking.
That doesn't add up.
I know it doesn't add up. That's just what the dialogue was. They said robots started attacking people 2 days ago.
Well, no, that's the thing, because like the mainland, because I guess that's the mainland. It doesn't really address it. They more or less said communication's been cut off because no one knows that the robots have been rebelling for 2 days, while everyone else has been celebrating up in the clouds.
That would make more sense because it almost seems like they're getting hit with it at different areas are getting hit with it at different points in time.
Yeah, because I was about to say that doesn't make, because your character doesn't black out at all, because you get shot down, you land in that, you get pulled out by that female bot in that tent area, and she's like, I don't know how it happened, but all the other robots have gone hostile. She tries to get out of the elevator with you. He kicks that one in the face to kick it out. That other robot explodes the top of it.
I forgot about that section.
Sucks that robot girl up and drops your ass, and you somehow survive and land on the ground and find your axe.
Yeah. Which, okay, I want to say, if you look at the menu at that axe, it has all kinds of fucking attachments and shit on it. When I picked the axe up, it was a basic ass fireman's axe, and then it gives me the options to like mod it, and it's got all kinds of shit on it.
Yeah, no, it's random as all hell. I'm just gonna skip ahead at this point. How did you feel about the introduction of the mod thing with Nora?
It's fucking weird.
Because leading up to this, you get your ass handed to you again by some giant metal worm that drops your ass through some floors. Some people save you, and some lady's working on you. It's like, all right, you're good. Wake up and get your ass up. And she's trying to exposition to you. Another robot in a black suit who has a laser for a face kicks in the door and starts trying to kill you.
Yeah, his face opens up and shoots a laser out, and then he just kind of waves his face around and he like kills most of the people in the room.
Yeah.
Somehow we dodge the laser.
And somehow the woman crawls down a tunnel. Then you fight it as like a small boss fight. You only have one door, you pop it open, and it's just a black hallway, tons of bodies, gore hanging on, and some woman singing a voice. I'll be honest, John, I hit that one and went, fuck that. Turned around and went, well, fuck me.
Did you have a shotgun by that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just fucking unloaded the shotgun into Laserface.
Yeah.
He just died so fast.
See, I actually did the fight and fought him with an axe because I think I only had like 2 bullets.
I think I had 4, and I just unloaded into him. I was like, well, that was an easy fight.
Then you meet Nora, which ends up being a vending machine AI that you can customize your abilities and weapons. But there's it's a weird scene where it's like a trap, like all the other scenes you've seen at this point with the robots, where tentacles come out of her and she starts grabbing you. I don't know what the hell she's trying to do.
She's very sexually charged.
Yes, it's a machine that's very sexually charged, so I can only assume it was used for sexual relief for the soldiers down in the base. But
Nora is very weird because I don't know if you've crafted any other weapons, but when I encountered a different, like another Nora later on in it, she starts talking about like, oh, well, it's like you left me for so long that I had to grab someone else and basically say she killed him. Like she ground him up inside of her. And he's like, I'm going to have to ask you to not kill any more people. She's like, well, you refused to go inside me, so I had to take care of that with someone else. It's like this really weird scene.
Which I still want to know because, like, in the loading screen, there's tips about saying if you have a pet, don't forget to feed it. What pet is it going on about?
I don't have a pet yet. I don't know what the fuck.
I feel like this game has
about.
very strange systems for a first-person slight horror shooter.
Yeah. The movement in melee combat feels janky for how fucking fast the robots move.
It does feel a little odd. I think it's mostly because, like, going sideways, you lose a lot of speed, which, I mean, in real life, you won't move nearly as quickly strafing side to side unless you're used to that. But I would feel like for a soldier, he would at least have done some sort of speed training in side to side.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't have a sprint.
Correct.
We just have a fucking dash.
Yes.
I hate when games do that. Give me a sprint and a jump instead of a fucking dash. Because it's like, it's a one charge short dash. It's not it's just there. It's like the dash mechanic is just there so that you can parry and dash out of unblockable attacks by enemies. I could dodge out of the way just as quick if you let me sprint.
How do you feel about the lock-picking system?
I didn't understand it. I just fumbled my way through it.
Okay.
Because you're talking about the one where you actually have to try to pick the lock.
Yeah. With the snapping.
What?
That was the whole thing. Whenever the light lights up on the bulb, when you have your character snaps to interact with it.
Oh, that's a different one. There's a bunch of different lock picking ways.
There?
There's one lock pick there's one thing where, like you were talking about, there's lights going around and you have to hit it when the light is, or when it's lit up on there, and then it goes down.
Then there's the wire one with your hand, right?
Then there's the wire one with your hand,
which makes no sense.
Where it's like Bethesda lock picking.
Yeah, it's like Skyrim or Morrowind lock picking, but it doesn't really give you.
You don't get no indication of it, and you're not going to break your lock pick. So it's just a minute of just moving it around
to figure out wherever it works.
Yeah, that one was kind of dumb. There's another lock picking thing where you get a circle with a bunch of little pins you can press in it, and it's put into quadrants, and you have to find a clue somewhere to tell you what the pattern is.
What the fuck?
The first one is done. The first one it has you do story wise.
Okay.
So you very easily find what it is. But yeah, there's that one. And then there might be another one. I might be forgetting another one. There's a bunch of different weird lockpicking things in this game. Then it also has electrical doors that do you have shock?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's electrical doors that you have to unlock with shock.
There's that weird plus minus puzzle thing. I don't know what's ever going to happen. I didn't understand how that was supposed to work.
I just fumbled my way. I just moved stuff around until the door opened.
Yeah.
So basically lasers. Lasers came down and then went in two lines to meet up with a door, and you had to rearrange them to unlock the door.
It was a pull plus minus thing, which makes sense as a lock mechanism, which the actual thing and explanation completely makes sense. The thing that made it hard is there was no indicators on the things you were flipping of which ones were which. All you got were the lights.
It was talking about match the colors together in that, so I guess it was supposed to be two different colors, but they were the same color for me.
Well, no, what you were supposed to do, because you're supposed to make that line a specific color by doing plus minuses, like a circuit.
Yeah, I understood that. There's just nothing was changing.
There was no indication of which ones were the pluses, which one were the minuses.
Well, I was moving stuff around. Literally nothing was changing on my screen.
Yes, same for me.
I understand what you're saying now.
See, you had 6 circles, but the only ones that mattered were the 2 on the far right. The other 4 can go fuck all.
Yeah, because I moved them around a little bit, and nothing happened. I moved the 2 on the end, and it was like, okay, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, no, so
there was but like you said, there was no indication of which ones were actually supposed to be moved, and there was no visual indication when you were moving anything that anything changed.
Yeah.
It was like the first. It's kind of like the first ones of these puzzles. They're like, we'll just give it to you, and it's like, well, no, because you're supposed to be teaching me how to do it, and if your teaching method is to give me a gimme, I'm never gonna fucking learn your mechanic.
I'm gonna get fucked the next time it shows up.
But yeah, I will say there's a weird thing because looting in this game, every fucking wall or every dresser, everything you have to loot, and they have a vacuum loot where you can hold down the loot button, and then your little tentacle hand goes sucks everything up. But the problem is you can only hold that for about 2 seconds before the tentacle hand gets tired.
What?
If you move it away, or if it sucks everything up and you're not constantly moving it over something new, it stops doing it.
I guess I never noticed.
Because the only reason I noticed it was because I would be like walking along a wall getting everything, but if my camera was tilted at an angle where it just slightly didn't have it where I could hit the button for me to loot it, then it wouldn't vacuum it up.
Okay.
I like had to aim over the actual icon for the since I played on PC, it was like F to loot. If I didn't aim it at least for a second at where the F was, it just wouldn't loot it. So then I'd be walking around, I'm like looting this wall perfectly fine, the one on the end, nothing happens. And then I'd like turn away, I'm like, all right, did I get everything? Hit the scan. Fuck.
I gotta say, that scan is a nice little feature, though.
Yeah, it's nice that you don't have. It's not like the fucking ping system, the circle ping that other games use. This I prefer this, where you can hit it and it's long range and it's color coded.
Easy, simple.
I don't want to have to constantly hit a ping every 4 feet that I walk, and the radius is my arm's reach.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you look into the modding system much, or did you get very far into it? The modding system mostly seems to be there's a bunch of different weapons that you can make for various different situations. Like the modding for the shotgun, unless you can make cartridges for it so that you could put like an elemental type damage or something on it. But other than that, the modding that I was able to do for it was like I changed the barrel on it so that it did slightly more damage to robots. And it's just various small things like that.
Gotcha.
And then what actually changes as far as using the weapons is the different types of weapons, because I was able to craft 2 additional weapons after that.
Okay.
I crafted another axe, which did less damage but attacked way faster and had a slightly different attack pattern. And I think that one and the other gun that I made were also like elemental type weapons.
Okay.
So they didn't use like ammo as much. It was like a bar that the gun was this little handgun that did a small amount of electrical damage.
Okay.
So as you shoot it, it's got bars down there that deplete. But then if you just put the gun away and don't use it, they kind of refill back up.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense when I asked. I was wondering why I had bars.
Yeah, it's like special attack something.
Yeah.
Of that. But yeah, so I don't know. I was curious about playing this game because you had mentioned it as like a BioShock type game. I never played BioShock. I never played anything like these games really. So I was like, give it a shot. I don't think I'm gonna continue playing it. Not for any real negative reason, just as I went, not for any reason with the game itself necessarily.
Yeah.
But after like 2 hours of playing it, I was like, I'm not really having fun. And I don't know if that's the game's fault. I think it's just not my style game.
I sort of feel you there. I enjoy this style of game, but besides just the atmosphere and like the small little details,
I hated the combat.
It wasn't really gripping me to continue playing because, I mean, yeah, you can craft bullets. I feel like it's also going to be a very much resource management in this game.
Yeah, because it took me the longest time to figure out how to get to the fucking backpack.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to open it up, but each healing item takes up a backpack slot.
Yep.
So if you have 10 healing items and they come in various sizes,
Yes.
then each one takes up its own slot. Because I ran into a problem where I'd crafted those weapons,
Yeah,
and
because
then I kept accruing healing items. I don't know how.
every robot you kill has a pretty high chance of giving you a healing item.
Yeah, because then the game started getting mad at me because it was like, your rucksack is overloaded, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Why are you
because
telling me that?
the inventory system in this game is done in the square grid style. Think of like Resident Evil. So things take up space, and once it reaches that max space, well, guess what? You can't carry any more shit.
Does have an auto sort feature.
It does, and you also have in each one of the relief rooms, you have a stash you can throw stuff into.
Never put anything in the stash. Probably
Well,
should've
it's
looked
in
at
there.
that. But yeah, I will say it is nice because I'm not a big fan of the way the combat worked. It was having the same problem that I feel like I had for a while back when Biomutant came out. It'll make sense in a second. Where in the combat in that game, at least for melee combat, it felt like my hits had no impact.
Yes.
It feels like because I'm used to games with a combat, like in any sort of melee combat, if I've got a big fucking axe and I hit someone with it, they're not gonna act like nothing happened and just keep charging through me with nothing. They'd at least get knocked back or like take a step back in some sense. Granted, these are robots that shouldn't really feel pain or anything.
Correct.
But if I'm still hitting them, you would think that it's like I have no momentum or anything with my swings.
Yeah.
Because they just continue plowing forward like nothing's happening.
I get what you mean there because, like, I did find it was odd that even though I was hitting people with my axe and I was seeing the metal and whatnot scarring up, but yeah, they just kept coming. There was no pushback on them. Like, more or less, the law of Isaac Newton was completely ignored in this game in terms of melee combat, unless they're hitting you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they get 2 hits on you and you go flying backwards, and then the second you stand up, you get knocked back again.
Yeah.
So it's like I was a little annoyed by that. I mostly ended up just using the guns because I was finding ammo fucking everywhere. Then I was a little annoyed with it because even then it's like it didn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to matter where you hit them. It's just however many hits it is how many hits it is. So like the shotgun, after I tinkered with the mods on it a little bit, it was like 2 hits from the shotgun killed no matter what it was, no matter what. If I hit it, it was 2 hits.
Even headshots?
Yeah.
Damn.
It may have just been the weapon that I was using or something. But like melee combat, I didn't really enjoy that. And the second axe I enjoyed more because it was faster, so I was able to. Since I was able to hit them more, it felt more impactful.
Yeah.
But that was also like when I played Biomutant, the melee combat didn't feel very impactful until I found a big ass fucking hammer that it made all the enemies make it feel like it had an impact to it. But yeah, the combat I wasn't too big on, and then there's some sort of like stealth aspect to the game,
Sorta.
which is mostly just don't let the camera see you, because if the camera sees you, enemies are gonna start charging at you. But a lot of times cameras are through the doorway, and if you want to distract the camera, then you, in a very awkward way, pick up something close by and throw it.
Yeah.
And then the camera looks at it, and then you hit it with your shock, and it can knock it down for a little bit.
Oh, if you go up to it, you can shoot or cut it off.
Yeah, but if you can shock it from a distance and then be able to get up to it as well.
Yeah, no, I just threw a crate and then I chopped it off.
Yeah, because I was going through. I was like, mainly because for some of this, I was like, I was like, this is what the game's telling me to do. Let's see how well this works. And I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, because it's sort of weird. Because to pick up stuff with your hand, you have to hold right bumper or whatever your hands interact button is. You have to hold it and then release it for it to pick up an item. Then to throw it, you then have to hold and release it again.
Yeah, I kept shooting my shotgun on accident. Because I would assume if I picked it up, I'm like, okay, now click and hold the throw. That's what it is in most other games.
Yeah.
But no, it's like I got that wrong every time. Then I'm just like, I look like an asshole standing in a doorway holding a fucking book, shooting a shotgun. But no, but it's essentially as far as I got in the game is I found some dickhead down there. Like, I found some dickhead dude that apparently the lady that like found us when we were knocked out.
Oh, okay.
She knew him, or she like knows him, and is basically saying, "Hey, watch out for this guy. He's coming for you." I didn't know who it was when I helped him.
Did he kill you?
No, he fucking ran.
Oh.
He ran and sicked some robots on me.
Oh, fuck.
And now I was working my way to him, or working my way to where he went, because he just went through the doorway, and then I'm just chasing him through different sections of it.
Gotcha.
Trying to get him. I assume that's who, like, Scientist Man or whoever wanted me to go find.
I guess.
But yeah, I started making my way through there. The drilling worm thing made a reappearance.
Oh.
Killed me. Because if you just get hit by it, you die. I didn't know it was gonna appear either. I'm just like going through, because there's a fucking section when he reappeared where it teaches you to, like, you can climb on objects on the wall, like rails and stuff.
Okay.
So like there'll be like, if there's a pipe or something that has like a little handrail
Yeah.
or something on it, and then you see it on the wall, you can jump up and grab onto it and then scale the wall. So I was doing that, and there's a point where the music kind of starts kicking up as you go through. I'm like, okay, well, something's about to happen. And I get to the end of it before like the game expected me to, I guess. So I go to jump, and I jump as it appears. I don't even see it. I don't know what happened. I jumped, my screen went black, and I'm back at the other side. After I respawn, I'm like, well, that was kind of shitty. So then I just waited. I got over there, I just waited. Because everything seems to happen based on, like...
Yeah,
they have their timing of where they expect you to be on certain things, which is all over the fucking place.
It really is.
So I guess the way I was walking through these areas, I was just not on the timing they expected. So I got there quicker and ended up dying because of it.
Oof.
Which was annoying.
I bet it was.
But yeah, it's like, other than that, I didn't get much further. I got to the point where I was able to select perks for, like, character-specific perks.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically just, hey, make yourself where when you go down, when you would die, you stay alive an extra second, because we need an excuse for you to run through this laser wall. There's a laser wall blocking the path. There's no way through. So like, hey, take this perk here, and it won't kill you. And this is after I watched a robot walk over, grab a guy, and just slowly push him through it.
What the fuck?
I charged right through it, though. This is when I met the second, what was it, Nora?
How does that perk make sense in this universe?
I don't understand. It's something. It just says something along the lines of the perk reads like a normal perk would, where it's like, when you would take fatal damage, survive an extra couple seconds. And I'm like, how the fuck does that work? It's like, you literally just showed me a robot push a man through there and him get cut to ribbons. But I'm fine.
Okay, sure. Yeah, overall, first thoughts from both of us seems more or less, we're in like mid ground for it. I mean, it's an entertainment game. If give it a try. It's on Game Pass.
It's an atmospheric game. The combat's not super great right now, or at least to the early progression of the game. Combat's not that great. Story seems fairly interesting. I'll be fair with that. I've listened to more of I did find out because when you're talking to people, there's the skip dialogue option.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't just skip what they're saying right there. It skips through until your character speaks again.
Fuck.
Because at one point I read through it and I was like, all right, fine. I hit skip, and that one went by because all it does is they just speed the dialogue up.
So it's
They just speed it up so it goes real quick. And like a couple more lines came up and popped up and went away. I went, well, I'll never know what that was.
it's like your character's just sitting there. Yeah, I'm not dealing with you today.
Pretty much. Well, I guess the thing with it is, the whole point of it is, in this world, we're supposed to control the robots.
I mean, that's fair.
So we can skip ahead or make them talk quicker or something. I don't know. It's a weird game. It's not a game that I would typically play. I thought I would give it a try. It's atmospheric. Story seems interesting. Combat subpar, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, if you have Game Pass, give it a try. And if it's for you, great. If not,
Yeah.
I mean, it's its own little thing. It has a nice setting and everything, but there's pros and cons for it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, that's why I got by it. I've said before, if it's on Game Pass, I'll just about try anything.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Well, speaking of games you actually want to play, what's this new update on Stone Realm?
Oh, so I talked about the game a little while back. Actually, hell, it was probably mid last year sometime I talked about
Probably.
it. Stolen Realm.
Stolen Realm, sorry.
It's kind of like a dungeon or almost like dungeon crawler game, essentially. It's like a co-op.
Doesn't it have really good ragdoll physics?
Oh yeah, they're fucking
Okay, that's what I
great.
thought.
They're so good. It almost kind of works like a roguelite system, or the system of like you go down the pathway and you pick boss fight or treasure shop, something like that. But the interesting thing is you create your characters and you can play it co-op with 4 characters. And then you pick your mission that you go on. So since it's been updated, a lot of stuff is locked. So you have kind of like this natural progression of doing side missions to go to like main story boss fights to unlock towns
Okay.
and things, and then kind of circle around the map. But for every mission that you go on, you go on to like a map, or like you load into the map, and then kind of go through the events of like what a roguelite or something like that would be from that point. So
Okay.
you get your first encounter, and then after you complete that encounter, you just go. There's a little icon at the edge of the map. You go to that, and then you pick if you want to go to like a hard battle, a normal battle, event, or shop or something like that. And then it just keeps expanding. Like the pathway that you have just keeps expanding down.
Okay.
Some of the updates they've updated the talent tree some. They've updated a system called fortunes, where at certain level breakpoints, I think it's 5, 10, 15, and 20, so you can have 4 of them equipped, is different perks and stuff that you have the opportunity to get during like some of these events or certain things like that. Will just be unlocked for your character that you can equip.
Okay.
So it could be like something as simple as +5 dexterity, which dexterity gives you like crit chance, crit damage, and then for every 25 dexterity you have, you gain 1 additional like hex movement.
That's not bad.
Because when it goes into battles, then it's a turn, or it's like the player turn and then the AI turn, but all the players can go at the same time.
Gotcha.
And then it's like for your turn, you have an action, and then you have your movement, and then you can like move an item or something if it's on the map. And it's the combat to the game has always been fantastic. It's fun. Some of the updates they have is the fortune system, which is nice because like I'm playing a very tanky melee character right
Okay.
now. And one of the fortunes we found is like gain a flat amount. I think it was like 169 armor, 196 armor, or something like that.
Damn.
And then for every 1% armor that you have, or 1% of your total armor rating is added to like your attack damage or something like that.
Damn.
And then I have a perk in my talent tree that is for every point of might that I have, which might is physical damage. It's basically like physical damage and something else. For every point of might that I have, I get 1% more armor and magic armor. So I'm a very, it's like at this point in the game, I'm a very tanky character.
That sounds like it because those should stack off each other.
Yeah, they do.
Cool.
Yeah, because like playing hardcore characters right now too.
So they're dead. They're dead.
If the party wipes, the characters are dead.
Oof.
If a character wipes like in a fight, as long as the party doesn't wipe, that character stays.
Okay.
So it's like it's only a death if it's a TPK. So it's like we found that out a couple days ago, but it makes it interesting. It makes it where you can still have somebody kind of glass cannony, but then it's like I'm because one of our guys is playing like an ice wizard. One of them is playing like a dual, like Peter's playing a dual wielding, like he does a shitload of damage
Okay.
across a bunch of attacks, so like he can help kind of clear things out. I'm like somewhere in the middle of everything. I am the old Lee Sin champion spotlight.
Yeah.
Tank mage range melee DPS assassin
Yeah.
rogue. That's me.
Cool.
I run to the middle of the fight because we're like level like 13 or something like that.
Okay.
Our second tankiest character has like somewhere around 500-600 health, somewhere in that range, and a couple hundred armor, magic armor, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 900 health and 1,000, or like well over 1,000 magic armor and like 1,000 armor, just because the way my stats stack together.
That's a bit ridiculous, but okay.
And I have the most, like the highest. I think I have the high, because I could have more armor than that, but I'm using a two-handed weapon instead of a shield because I wanted some damage. I also got a fucking nuts weapon for where we're at. So I just kind of run out there and I'm like, I've got a dash if I need to get far. I've got long range AoE if I need to hit a bunch of enemies around me. So I'm just like, I'll be here if anything wants to come challenge me. Because I have some like return damage. So it's like thorns. So if they hit me, I take damage. It's like I don't have a lot, but it's funny to see these enemies walk up to me and like one of the people that I'm playing with, like they'll get hit and take 100 damage or so. I get hit, I take 7.
Shit.
Little bit of an exaggeration, but somewhere in the neighborhood of
Yeah.
that, where like I'm taking absolutely no damage at all. They're doing more damage themselves than me. But yeah, it's fun. It's been updated, so like the fortune system's cool because we found a lot of unique ones.
Okay.
Or we found some unique ones, like the armor turning into damage one, like I talked about. And then there's some that are kind of more basic, where it's like stat increase, or we have one where it's like you can just summon a random level 9 monster to fight on your side.
Okay.
And you can do that once per battle.
Yeah.
Or like gain a second action once per battle. So just little things like that very much kind of change the place, like can help you change your playstyle a little bit. But yeah, seems like they've been constantly updating it, like giving little hot fixes here and there, updating bosses, updating the ways like some of the stats work and that, trying to balance it out. Cause it's a very fun like co-op kind of like dungeon crawling game. And the talent trees aren't like too expansive, but it's fun enough where you can do some wacky shit.
I mean, that does sound very entertaining because I know I've looked at it a couple times myself. Because how you're describing it almost seems like a slightly simpler Gloomhaven.
Kind of. It's like way less complex than that. Because it's like this one you can kind of just like, if you don't want to immediately go to boss fights and that, you can just sit there and keep running, because the routes for the maps and stuff, I believe, are procedurally generated as well.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you load into it, it's like if you load into one of the points, it's basically just loading into that type of point, and whatever the ending boss that it says is on there, that's basically the boss you're gonna fight.
Okay.
Everything along the way is just kind of, you may get more. It's like you could probably get more events. You may get more mining stuff per run that you do, or you may get fishing points and stuff along the way.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And since it's been updated, one of the most like user friendly updates they had to it is, it used to be anytime you went into a battle, you went into a separate loading screen, loaded into a different map, and then did the battle there.
Okay.
And then when you finished, like when you won the battle, you would load back into like the map that you've been creating.
Okay.
Don't do that now. Now when you start the battle, all the enemies just plop onto your pre-existing map.
Oh, that makes it simpler.
So
that's a lot better.
It just makes it more convenient. And then if like there were a bunch of fishing spots or something like that, it'll just kind of like rearrange it slightly. So instead of loading into a new one, it just like lays a texture on top of it. If it needed to like fill in space.
Gotcha.
So it makes the loading time and stuff there way nicer, and it's just nicer to see everything kind of show up there.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking you away every time.
That's nice. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's a nice, just quality of life thing.
Yeah, and like Zach said, some of the best ragdolls that you will ever see come from this game. Because when you kill an enemy, they don't disappear. They don't disappear. They don't do anything. They start floating through, some of them will just shoot off the screen in a ragdoll. Some of them you'll hit and they'll just like start floating up in the air in some ragdoll. They always ragdoll away and start falling through the air.
And that's true for the hero characters too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, you don't get special treatment just because you're a player character.
But definitely check out Stolen Realm if you haven't yet. It is updating continuously. Seems like fairly interesting updates. Versus my game, I'm still playing Naraka Bladepoint.
This has been like your go-to game since it came out.
Well, not since it came out.
Roughly around the time, because you were the first person I know that actually started playing it.
I think I may have just mentioned it because I didn't start playing it whenever it first came out, because I didn't actually start playing it until like a year ago.
Okay, but this has been kind of like your go-to game since then.
I don't know why either. I do know why, because I do like battle royales. Because I went hard into Apex, because I played Apex nonstop for like 3.5 years. I got really into Apex, and that's really what got me in the Battlegrounds games. And this is a battle royale Wushin style game. It's with melee combat and range combat, with its weird abilities within the style of Wushin cultivation stuff. And I don't know why. I got back onto it like about a month ago now, in which either last week or the week before, they just started Season 7, Untamed. So the new season's going, where they added pole arms.
Okay.
Bladed pole arms.
I'm not gonna lie. I've looked at this game briefly. Like, yes. I've watched like brief videos and stuff on it. And every time I can't tell what the fuck is happening.
Correct.
I start watching it and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. I can't follow any of this.
It's sort of that weird thing of like all the characters are weapon masters of every weapon, and you only really understand what's happening if you've used the weapons, because each weapon has its unique sort of attacks and whatnot you do. And then there's a whole thing of there's charge attack, there's just regular attacks. Each weapon has its own unique aspects to it. There's blue focus attacks, which can be countered or blocked. Then there's the actual countering system and it's a whole thing. I just know as further I get in the ranks, the more I've realized I'm bad at countering.
Oh yeah, I assume that's probably a big thing as you go up.
As you get higher, because, and I don't know if it's just a controller, a limit with controllers on console versus PC, or if I just don't get it, because I think I just need to do remapping on my controls, because there's a way to cancel attack into a counter, which I haven't figured out.
Okay.
Or I'm just getting timings wrong, because once you learn the weapons, every weapon has its specific timings, and you can tell what a person's doing based on whatever movement the character's making to time your counters.
Okay. So yeah, that might just be a button remapping where it's just a matter of hitting something immediately after, or at the same, or canceling it in, yeah. Yeah, you'd have to cancel it either with an action or by inputting 2 at the same time or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. Because I know there's a way to do it, because there's several times I've messed up my combos because I'll suddenly just do a counter stance. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, because the counter thing is very good in high levels, because if you actually pull off a counter, it causes your opponent to drop their weapon, and then you get to use a strong move on them.
Okay.
So you just completely fuck them over, because it also knocks them down too.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, you get rewarded for actually using the mechanic properly.
Yes, you completely fuck them over. Yeah, just been enjoying the Untamed season and the Polearm. Polearm's the second sort of pole style weapon, because we also have spears and staffs, and it's the heavy hitter of the 3. I would say the staff's probably the speed one, spears very balanced, and then the Polearm is the strength one.
That makes sense.
No new character this season though, but then again, we did just get our ancient diva character.
Does the character change anything?
More or less, it just adds more play styles, because she has a knockback, long range just ability, and then her ultimate.
So the different characters themselves have abilities.
Yes.
That are used. Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about.
Yeah, and then each character, as you progress in what's their cultivation thing, which is more or less their own personal story you complete quests for, you can unlock. The first 2 levels unlocks 2 variations of their base skill, and then the second one unlocks 2 variations of their ultimate besides their base one.
Okay.
Allow people to do different play styles if they want. Because, like, her name's Shane. I can't pronounce it right now without looking at it. And she just summons a wooden mech with gun turrets on it.
Okay. Yeah, that seems fair.
It's actually a lot fairer than you think.
Yeah, no, I would assume that it would be. But yeah, the idea of that. I'm also, having not played the game, I'm picturing something much larger than what's actually happening.
Oh no, it's probably about as large as you're thinking. Because when it comes out, you see a big shape of it, and you're like, well, shit. The fun thing about her, which I've enjoyed for the few times I've seen it, is she's the 3rd character whose ultimate transforms you into somebody else. So now you can have a 3-man team of people, because one turns into a form of Buddha, and they can just grab your ass and then pummel you into the ground constantly. One turns into a terracotta general and gains a giant spear he can stab through you and throw you around. And now she just turns into a mech to bullet you around.
Okay.
So it's very entertaining to see a team with all 3 of them, and they all just change at the same time and go, well, fuck this.
Yeah. I'm not going over there anymore. That's your space.
Because dealing with one of them is pretty easy. Dealing with 2 or 3 of them at a time, that could be about a slight pain in the ass.
Yeah. I could definitely see that, because, like I said, I haven't played the game.
Yeah.
I've only seen brief videos of it, like I said, and even then, I'm like, man, I would probably get my ass handed to me, because I'd be looking at people over there while the 6 people are hitting me over here.
Exactly, because Battle Royale rules still apply. When you start fighting, at least 4 other groups are going to show up during the fight.
Oh, yeah. It's because they heard noise and they have to go investigate.
Exactly. I mean, it is very entertaining, and I feel you there, because when I first played a year ago, I got my ass handed to me a lot, and I was just like, I don't know what's really happening, and laid off. It got caught up with other games we were playing, and then came back the beginning of last month, and I was just steamrolling people and went, I don't know what happens. I was like, I don't know if something clicked in my mind in between the break and I just get it now or what. But overall, it's an enjoyable game. Untamed season started for anyone who hasn't messed with it and it's like, I might want to come back in. New season's fun.
All right.
Not a whole lot has changed, but it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, still, new season, I guess. Do they have like a
Battle Pass?
Yeah, I was gonna say Battle Pass rewards makes sense for a new season.
In which their Battle Pass, I actually am okay with. I mean, the free one is as you expect with a free one, but it actually gives you a lot of variety of cosmetics and stuff. Not the flashier ones, of course, except for a handful towards the end of the pass. But I mean, it's still fairly decent.
All right. Yeah, that's always appreciated when. I mean, we all expect the paid Battle Pass to have
Better
the
stuff.
flashier, nicer stuff, but it is nice to see when games have like a free version that is still respectable.
Yeah, and the thing that they do is also they will bring back. They have what's called a rebirth shop, which brings back certain items from previous seasons and battle passes, which you can buy that currency with one of the two in-game currencies to buy things for it to purchase it through that rebirth shop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I was going. Wait, you say there's two currencies. So is it?
There's
is it
three different currencies.
I assume the free currency,
Yes.
paid currency,
Yes.
and then some sort of.
Cosmetic currency.
Okay, I was going. I didn't know whether to phrase it as like cosmetic or like some sort of like rank currency or some. I assume something along those lines.
So they got the Tay coins, which is just your generic currency to use to unlock characters and a couple things in the shop. The gold, which is the real money currency, and then Spectral Silk, which there's a specific shop for Spectral Silk, which is just a bunch of cosmetic stuff.
Now, can you use the basic bitch currency to get that too?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, and the
I assume it takes a lot.
For like the higher tier stuff does, but I guess I should rank it. There's like 5 tiers of stuff: common, uncommon,
Well, yeah,
rare. Then they have an orange, which would be legendary. Then they have a red, which is ultimate.
Yeah.
The ultimate costs them more. The legendary is actually not bad because the legendary stuff in the Spectral Silk shop is like 12,000, and I actually got that pretty quickly.
Yeah. So I guess it's one of those where it seems like a lot, unless you're playing the game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah. It's a free game. If you're curious about it, give it a try.
All right. Well, I think that's about all I had this week, Zach. Unless you had something new.
It's a question of whether we want to mess with the state of play or not.
Well, I was gonna say because I was gonna say if we wanted to try to or just move into kind of like weekly wrap up stuff, I can quickly go through that because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super impressed with it.
Let's shout out the state of play. I didn't watch it. He read an article about it.
Oh wait, I'm in the. Oh shit! How do I get back to that?
Okay, we might not hit the state of play.
Found it. State of play did happen. Was it yesterday or today?
I have no clue, man.
State of play happened sometime in the past 2 days. It's like we're just gonna quickly run through this because neither of us really watched it. I started trying to watch some of the trailers earlier and then realized I wasn't too worried about it.
Congrats.
There was an extended trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which shows some more additional pieces of like story stuff going on with it.
Okay.
Game looks great. New fighters were revealed for Street Fighter 6. So,
Shouting out fighting games. For some reason, they released the Kazuya trailer for Tekken 8 this week, and the entire thing, I was like, it looked great. I get it. But people got super excited and went, well, it's Kazuya.
Yeah.
He's on the fucking first promo for this one. Of course he's in it, damn it.
yeah. So Street Fighter 6, Zangief, Lily, and Cammy.
Okay.
So, I mean, probably could have assumed they would have been there at some point, but officially announced now. There was a section on Baldur's Gate 3, which previously we knew Baldur's Gate 3 was releasing sometime in August. Now we know for sure that it is August 31st. So the last day of August is going to be the release date for Baldur's Gate 3 on PC and PlayStation 5.
That game's gonna have such a giant download.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. I think may have been with this. Their minimum PC specs got upped.
Yeah.
And then their recommendations went up as well. New Resident Evil 4 trailer confirmed mercenary mode is returning.
Boo.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
That's their multiplayer.
I was assuming it's along those lines. Would you believe it? Destiny 2 is still getting additional content.
Yes.
I figured the Lightfall trailer, I guess a week before launch came out or was shown. I thought Lightfall was out. Have we not been hearing about this for a while?
I thought it was out too, I'm gonna be honest.
But yeah, I guess Lightfall comes out in a week or so.
Okay.
And then new PSVR 2 games were revealed. Let's see, what was it? Something called Foglands, a haunted first-person shooter.
Okay.
Green Hell is coming to PSVR 2. I don't know if I'd necessarily want to play Green Hell in VR, but more power to anybody that wants to. I don't know what the others were. I'm just gonna move past that. Goodbye Volcano High coming to PS5 and PS4 on June 14th. I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know what that is either.
And then Naruto, Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections got a new trailer.
What?
I don't know.
That game's still getting DLC?
I'm reading down a list here.
That game should be more dead than Destiny 2.
New trailer for Digital Extreme and Airship Syndicate's Wayfinder.
I don't know what you just told me.
I don't know. The picture, the video there, he's got a big ass sword. So something about some game.
Yeah, no, I have no clue what that is.
I didn't either. That's why I didn't. It's like I didn't make it this far down last time I read through it. But yeah, that seems to be pretty much all for the PlayStation State of Play.
I might go watch those trailers.
It's like there's a couple. I'll probably go watch the Baldur's Gate stuff if I'm honest, just to see it.
I'll just go clear my computer's cache to re-download it.
But yeah, I mean, State of Play. We knew it wasn't going to be anything like super pressing because they stated before it was going to be mostly third-party and PSVR 2 titles.
Yep.
So it was just that with like required information about their other big games.
Okay. Well, I think that's about all John and me have this week. So if you missed it, here we go. Weekly wrap-up of things that you might be interested that have happened this week. For anyone who's been waiting and hasn't heard yet, Pokemon Presents is set for February 27th at 6 p.m. Or not 6 p.m., 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's supposed going to be 20 to 25 minutes. So check that out Monday. I probably won't because I'll probably be working, unfortunately.
I'll probably try to pull it up, forget about it, and then watch it afterwards.
Friendly reminder, we're getting closer to the 3DS and Wii U eShop closures. One note about 3DS closing, Pokemon Sun and Moon demo are still the only official way to get Battle Bond ability Greninja. If you still don't have one, pick that up quick if you still need it. Madden 24 is considered a make or break for the title by a report. If this title has a large customer backlash, changes will come with series leadership, and Alex believes it when he sees it. So as far as he's concerned, this is never going to change.
Yeah, he's apparently just under the assumption that they are willing to just release the same thing over and over again as they have for the past decade.
Yes. Xbox has now officially signed the 10-year contract to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo consoles. I mean, cool for Nintendo consoles, but hey, Nintendo, we need an update, guys.
Yeah. I mean, Alex had another comment here that this just helps Microsoft with their case of not monopolizing the space with it, which honestly might just be the only reason they've decided to do this, because realistically, who's going to be wanting to play COD on a Switch?
Probably a lot of people.
I mean, a lot of people will. It's not gonna. It probably won't run well.
It probably won't. But hey,
Probably gonna be a horrible experience. But
the real test is it better than COD Mobile?
I guess they could just be banking on the fact that Nintendo's already said our next console's got to be better.
Yes, hopefully. Bloomhouse Games has announced that they have no intentions on doing any AAA titles and solely going to be games budgeted at 10 million and below projects. I mean, hey, that's a stance. I'll be curious to see what comes out of it. I mean, there's a lot of good low budget games.
Yeah, I mean, hell, it's like some of the best games that I've played in the past year or two have been all low, like relatively low budget indie games.
Looking at you, Vampire Survivors.
I mean, that game took the world by storm.
Amazon has announced they're bringing the MMORPG Throne and Liberty to North America, South America, Europe, and Japan. Do you have any clue what Throne and Liberty is?
I saw this news and thought it had already happened.
I have no idea what this game is personally.
It's I don't want to be too wrong about it. I think it's another one of these like kind of older popular MMOs from
Korea?
Another region, probably Korea.
Okay.
That was made. Could be wrong on that, but I believe it's one of these older games from another region that has been talked about getting moved over here for a long time. And now, I guess these days we're just waiting on Amazon to do it because they're the only ones doing it.
Apparently. I mean, New World's still kicking, so hey, Amazon's at least one or two.
New World still hey, Lost Ark still averages 130, 160,000 people.
Constantly forget Lost Ark is also Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, it's like their player numbers aren't anything what they used to be, but I mean, they have an average close to 200,000 people
Wait,
playing.
is New World Amazon then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I keep forgetting that both of them are there. Apparently, Konami planned to have a pretty big E3 according to VGC. New Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid 3 remake expected to be there. I mean, somebody needs to, since Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo are all out at E3. I can only hope who's left can bring us some good news for E3.
It's weird to get news saying expected to have a big E3 and then list a remake.
Yes.
Like,
hey,
there's something I just find humorous about that.
Snake Eater was a great game. Mortal Kombat 12 apparently coming later this year. We've been seeing trailers and whatnot for it. Then there was that release from that.
Yeah, it was like a audio snippet from like a.
Yeah, not trailers, just the audio snippet.
It was like the audio snippet from like their quarterly earnings or something where they were talking about projects coming out, and was stated that the highly anticipated Mortal Kombat 12 should be out by the end of the year.
I don't know what that story's going to be after playing Mortal Kombat 11. I'm going to be honest.
I don't know, because this is going to be a fucking nuts year for fighting games.
Yeah?
Because we got Street Fighter 6.
Because all of the fighting games are coming back with a new one this year.
The fucking biggest names out there. Street Fighter 6.
Yes. For 2D.
Tekken 8.
For 3D.
And then I already forgot.
Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 12. We're getting 3 of the, and then there's
that Rivals of Aether 2 coming out.
Yeah, and then we gotta be getting close to, well, because we're all under the assumption that Mortal Kombat 12 has basically been done and ready to go.
Yeah.
Which means, assuming NetherRealm Studios would be doing working on another game or something.
Injustice 3.
I'm thinking Dragon Ball, either like Dragon Ball FighterZ, the next iteration of it, or an Injustice. Potentially. I think Injustice was worse. I think Injustice performed worse than the Mortal Kombat. So I think if they were going to do one, either something new or move to the next Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I don't. Injustice 3, as much as I would personally like to see it, I feel that's a long shot because Injustice 2 did not do well.
It didn't. I don't think it sold that well. Its fucking tournament scene was awesome, though.
Yeah, I saw some of those.
Its fighting game tournaments were great. But I have a feeling they would just move to the next biggest like go from one series, like we got Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
move to your other big hitter, which was Dragon Ball.
Yeah. New Dragon Ball Z Kakarot DLC announced, Chaos at the World Tournament, focusing on the 23rd World Tournament. I don't remember which World Tournament is, or if this is just one specifically for Kakarot. So,
I'm
hey.
surprised they're still making DLC for this game, honestly.
I mean, there's a lot of fighting anime games they keep making DLC for.
Yeah, like this, I was honestly surprised. But, who knows? Maybe this will be a DLC they make, and they're like, all right, let's make another game.
Nope. Elden Ring has passed over 20 million units sold, and Hogwarts Legacy has passed over 12 million units sold. Along with Hogwarts Legacy, there's a TV series reportedly in development at HBO Max following Hogwarts Legacy. I do not know how I feel about that.
Okay, when I first read this, I was... First, quickly, I'm just going to comment on the fact that 12 million units sold. This game's been out for less than a month.
Yeah, and this is just current gen consoles.
That is fucking wild.
There's still going to be a release on the previous generation consoles for these too.
Yeah.
And then eventually the Switch.
Yeah. Currently, it's just
PC and current gen consoles.
Yeah, which is wild. Because I know at least a few people who want to play the game but don't have access to it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the TV series being made on it. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. I don't think it would hurt anything.
I don't think it would hurt anything.
I don't think it would hurt anything. It's just a matter of because it's all different characters. It's just a.
I would assume they're just going to use that world and do their own story because I do not see them following the game's story.
Probably not. Well, that's the thing. They could
because doesn't each house have a slightly different story?
Yeah, but they could follow the overarching story of it relatively easily.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Because each house, like the different houses, have their own like quest associated with them, and like they're a person that you could, I think, like different companions that you are more likely to meet up with, and stuff that give you quests and that. It would make sense, or it's. Like for the gameplay wise, but for a show, an overarching story just following a student from whatever house they end up being from, I could see that being done. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about like the immediate jump to TV shows and stuff that people are doing, because it almost feels like the game came out. Massive success. Like we said, 12 million units sold already. And with the success of the Last of Us show, they're like, well, let's just make a show. It kind of seems what the natural progression in their mind was.
Well, I feel like the one thing that sort of would push this one quicker was just that it has that Hogwarts name on it.
It's because it has the Harry Potter tie-in, so everyone has faith in it. But it's also been 20 or close to 20 years or 15 years.
Has it been that long already?
I don't know. It had to be somewhere around there. When was the last Harry Potter movie?
I have no idea. I stopped watching them. Well, John looks that up. So far, with just coming to the end of February, we've had a pretty good year for gaming, at least in Metacritic scores, just from January and February.
2010 movie.
Deathly Hallows Part 2?
Deathly Hallows. Well, Deathly Hallows Part 1. The other one was the next year. But yeah. So 13 years?
Damn, okay.
Or 12, 13 years, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty long time. So games here that have got an 80+ score so far: Metroid Prime Remastered, Hi-Fi Rush, Dead Space Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, Fire Emblem Engage, Octopath Traveler 2, Thera Rhythm Final Bar Line. That's a Final Fantasy rhythm game, which I've looked at and I'm probably going to buy at some point. Like a Dragon Ishin, and Season, A Letter to the Future, which is another game that I've seen that I'm very curious about. It's that one with the person riding on the bike through like the field of flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's been... It's weird because we're about to enter March.
Yeah.
And it's weird to have that many games that have come out to have higher ratings.
And that's just 9 games that are considered newer games versus, remakes and remasters versus these other games which are just straight ports to other systems that have gotten 80 plus in Monster Hunter Rise, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Portable, Age of Empires 2 Definite Edition, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, A Space for the Unbound, Pharaoh, A New Era, Gran Turismo 7, and Resident Evil 8 VR have all also gotten 80 plus scores in Metacritic so far for the year.
Yeah, it's a significant number of games for still being this early in the year.
After getting 2 years of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had hits and misses through the last
Yeah.
2 years, but let's be honest, everyone. The last 2 years have been sort of crap.
Yeah. It's like we get like the two bangers of the year and then a bunch of mediocrity.
Which I'm fine with mediocrity. We've had this discussion before on this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. I will play, like I said before, there is nothing wrong. Me and Alex talked about this, what was it, like a month ago or so? There's
Probably.
nothing wrong with liking a 6 or 7 out of a 10 game.
Yeah.
Hell, most games are that way, and I love it.
Well, that's going to wrap up the weekly news and everything. So, you got anything else, John?
I don't think I have anything else. So,
All right. I think we're going to roll out of here
So
then.
you looking to hit the music there?
Go ahead and get that going. Well, if you've gone with us this far, like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. If you're watching this live and you haven't subscribed to us yet, please do. Because if you're still watching, I'm hoping you like us or just using us background noise. I can take that too. Thank you very much. Bye.
Yeah, everything you said and more, especially if we are just have to be using background noise, might as well subscribe. That way, we can, every Saturday, sometime or roughly around 6 p.m. we'll be here.
And of course, always go check out Agent Inc. Check out our shop there. Pick up a jersey. They are fantastic. You can always check out our own personal merch store at sparky3.com. Check out some Rogue Energy with their new flavors of hydration and rainbow candy and strawberry bubblegum, which I'll hopefully have mine in next week so you can try. And then you can also find all the links to our Discord and socials down below and follow us there and join us in there for discussion. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening or day whenever you're watching this. Bye.